Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, you will actually learn about, how to make biological drawings, or you can say how to make the drawing of any biological specimen provided to you. Then by using the drawing of the biological specimen, how can you calculate magnification? Also, in case if magnification and the image size is provided, so how can you calculate real size of the object? Okay, so these are the learning outcomes which you will understand after completing this entire video. Today's video is very important because it is a very important part of your IGCSE board exams. Paper number 6, that is alternative to practicals. These questions are generally regularly asked in paper number 6, that is alternative to practicals. So let's begin. First topic is making of biological drawings. For example, a real specimen is provided to you, or maybe the drawing of a real specimen, the picture of a real specimen is provided to you in question paper. So by looking at that picture, you have to draw the same diagram in the space provided in the question paper. Okay, so what are the different guidelines you have to follow, and what are the different criterias on which you will be generally assessed by the examiner? So generally these questions in the exam are asked either for 4 or 5 marks. Okay, the different criteria which are to be followed are followed as you can just remember it as an abbreviation of SOLD. SOLD. Now S refers to size. Okay, so whenever you draw the diagram on the space provided, you must occupy at least half of the space while drawing the diagram. Okay, if it is more than half also, it's of no issues. It's really good. You can you must at least occupy half of the space provided to you while making the diagram, and it should always show the right proportion. Your diagram should always show the right proportion. But make sure that when you are drawing the diagram, you should leave space for labeling. Around the diagram, space should be left for labeling, and make sure that you draw your diagram in the center of the page. Second criteria is O, that is outline. So whenever you draw the diagram, the outline of your diagram should be very clear. Okay, you should not overlap the lines. It's not like that just don't draw one line 2-3 times. Just don't keep on rubbing your pencil there and keep on drawing 1 or 2 or 3 lines one after the other, okay, or one above the other. No, you should use a sharp pencil, okay, and just with light hand draw one single line. That's it. Whatever type of line is drawn, that's drawn. No need to again redraw it on the same line, and it's not required to overlap. Okay, then single clear continuous outline should be there, no overlapping, and no shading should be there in the diagram. The moment there is a shading in the diagram, you lose marks for outline. All these criteria are generally assessed for 1 mark, except this labeling or details. Okay, size is for 1 mark, outline is for 1 mark. If labeling is asked for more than 1 part, then definitely 2 marks will be assigned to this, or sometimes details. For details also they assign 2 marks. L refers to labeling. At least 2 or 3 parts you must label in the diagram, until and unless it is not specified in the question paper that which part you have to label. If it is specified that label these parts, so just label only those parts. If it is not specified, so label at least 2 or 3 parts which are the characteristic features of that particular group of organisms. Okay, simply don't label hand, nose, mouth. No, you have to actually label the characteristic, you have to actually label the parts or features which are characteristic of that particular group of organisms. Last one is detail. So whenever you're drawing the diagram, okay, you should draw a diagram as given in the picture with details. Okay, you should draw the diagrams as given in the picture with details. Here in labeling, one more thing you have to remember, you should use a ruler to draw label lines. Okay, so whenever you're labeling the diagram, always draw the line by using scale, and the line should actually touch the part which is being labeled. For example, in a diagram of flower, if you're labeling petal, so the line which you're drawing using ruler, that line must touch the petal. Okay, the diagram must touch, the line must touch the petal. Okay. Now one example I'll show you. This is one of the question asked in the paper. This particular picture shows a photograph of spider. Okay, this is a black and white picture of real spider. Now spider's body has two main parts. Okay, the upper part, this part is known as cephalothorax because this is head region and this is neck region. So head and neck both are fused with each other. So this is known as cephalothorax and this is the upper part of the body. Just below cephalothorax, you can see here you have abdomen. Okay, this is abdomen. So all the legs in the spider is having 4 pairs of legs, okay, 8 legs. So all the legs in the spider are actually attached to the cephalothorax, okay. So all the legs in the spider are attached to the cephalothorax. Now here in this particular picture, they have labeled X, Y, okay. You can see here X and Y, okay. So this particular line you have to measure. Once you will measure this particular line, you will get the real size of this particular spider. About this we'll talk little later. Right now you just remember you have seen this real picture, okay, of a spider, and by looking at this picture you have to draw the picture in the space provided to you. Okay, so the next question which was asked was, make a large drawing of the spider in figure 2.2 to show its outline including its legs. Label the abdomen. Now here they have specified that you should label the abdomen. Okay. Now, in marking scheme for this particular question, these details were given, OSDL. Okay, so O refers to the outline. Now, I have already told you, like, the single clear outline, continuous outline should be there with no shading. Now, if you look here in the diagram, most of the part of this particular diagram shows, single clear outline. Okay, and single clear continuous outline. Continuous meaning is there is no break in between. I mean, it's not like that, somewhere the line breaks and then restarts again. No, single clear continuous lines are there with no shading. But the person who has drawn this diagram might lose marks because here you can see the overlapping of line is visible. Even in this particular part of the leg, overlapping of line is visible. Here also, that means, the pencil used was not sharp enough. Okay, the pencil used was not sharp enough. So make sure that you always use, a clear tip or sharp pencil, and you should avoid this type of overlapping of line. There's no shading in the picture, that's good. But this type of overlapping of line should be avoided. Otherwise, sometimes examiner might deduct the entire 1 mark for outline. Remember that in IGCSE paper, there is no rule of giving, half marks. Okay, half marks are never given. So if there is any mistake in the outline, the entire 1 mark will go. Okay, it's not like, okay, your diagram is, outline is half correct or half wrong, so half mark will be provided. No. Fine. The next one is size. So this particular diagram at least occupy half of the space which is provided, the half of the blank space which is provided. Okay, now here they have mentioned that it must be at least 75 millimeter in the length. Actual, if you see here in the previous picture, this length X to Y, okay, if you measure this length X to Y, you will get around 39 millimeter. Okay, so what is the length? From X to Y, if you will measure by using a ruler, it is 39 millimeter. So here when you're drawing the diagram, this length X to Y should be at least 75 millimeters. Okay, it should not be less than that. Okay, so it should be at least 75 millimeter in length. So size, for size, it's perfect. So the person will be awarded with 1 mark. Next is details. Now, when we talk about details, how many pairs of legs were given? 4 pairs. Okay, 8 legs were given in the original picture. So 8 jointed legs are attached to the body in the correct position and in correct orientation. So if the person has, made all the 8 legs, the person will get marks. Okay, person will be awarded with 1 mark for the details. Okay, here detail actually carries, here detail actually holds 2 marks. This entire question asked was for 5 marks. 1 mark for outer line, 1 for size, 2 marks for details and 1 mark for labeling. Okay, so for size and outer line I have already explained 1 mark each. For details, 1 mark will be given for 8 jointed legs attached to the body in correct position and in correct orientation. The position means from where it is originating. Okay, it should originate from cephalothorax. And orientation means whether it is pointed downwards or upwards or sidewards. So this you will get to know from the original picture. Okay, so like you can see here, the first 2 pairs of legs are pointed upwards and the next 2 pairs of legs are pointed downwards. So similarly, the person has made 2 pairs of legs upward and next 2 pairs of legs pointed downwards. Fine. So 1 mark will be given for this detailing. Another 1 mark is actually awarded if the person has drawn any of these 2 parts. First part mentioned here is, this is known as chelicerae. Okay, chelicerae. This is known as chelicerae. The chelicerae. So this part is known as, this term is actually chelicerae. You can see here in cephalothorax, this 2 part. Okay, these 2 are the eyes, and next to the eyes, these 2 parts here. This 2 part is actually known as chelicerae. Fine, this is known as chelicerae. Okay, so these 2 parts are to be drawn in the diagram. Similarly, next one, it's given here 2 spinnerets. Okay, so on the abdomen. So here at the lower part, you can see 2 small incisor kind of things. Okay, these 2 are known as spinnerets. Okay, spinnerets actually perform functions of like by males, they deliver their sperms, they hold their prey, they actually help in formation of web. Many other functions are also there, right? So these 2 spinnerets or these 2 chelicerae should be visible in the diagram made by the person. Okay, if any one out of these 2 is there, the person will be awarded with another 1 more marks, right? You can see here in the diagram also here, these 2 clearly the 2 chelicerae are visible, and here also the lower part, low bottom of the abdomen, 2 spinnerets are visible, right? Okay, and the last marks is awarded for labeling. So it was already given in the question itself. It was specific that the person is supposed to label abdomen. So abdomen is being labeled. Okay, a single clear line is made by using ruler, and this line on the left side is actually touching abdomen. So make sure that the label line should touch the part which is being labeled. Okay, fine. So I hope all these points about making of a diagram, biological diagram, is clear to you. Just remember this SOLD. S refers to size. Size should always be bigger than, larger than the original picture of the organism. Then O refers to outer line. Outer line should be single, clear, continuous line with no shading. Even if a very small amount of shading is there, you lose marks for outer line. Then D refers to details of the body, 2 body parts or 3 body parts. That depends on for how many marks the question is asked. Details should be shown. Then L refers to labeling. If the question is specific, if in question it is asked which parts are to be labeled, you label those parts. Otherwise, at least label 2 to 3 parts in the drawing which you are making. Okay, sure, fine. The next topic is calculation of magnification. So first you should understand what is the meaning of magnification. Magnification actually refers to how much you have increased the apparent size of any organism or any object, or you can say how much large the diagram is than the real specimen or organism. Now if you look into the previous slides, here I have shown you already, this is the original picture of the spider, and this x to y line is around 39 millimeter. Fine, but when the student has drawn the diagram here, the x to y line is actually, this is around 80 or 81 centimeter. Okay, sorry, 80 or 81 millimeter. Okay, so this is around 80 or 81 millimeter here. Fine, so this diagram is larger than the original picture. Fine, isn't it? This diagram is larger than the original picture. So how much this diagram has been enlarged, okay? How much large is the diagram, or how much, the apparent size of the diagram is increased from the original picture. That's known as magnification. So for calculating magnification, we always have a formula. Magnification is equals to size of the image or drawing divided by size of the real object, okay, or actual size. So this size of the image or the drawing, drawing which you have made, size of that particular image divided by, size of the real object, actual size. Now sometimes in question paper, the size of real object is given, and sometimes, like, I've shown you the example, you yourself have to measure the size by using ruler. Okay, so you have to be very, careful while measuring the size using the ruler. Okay, so this is the formula for magnification. And always remember that when we measure the size of image or drawing, or when we measure, the size of real object, so the units used for both the cases should be same. Either you should use it, measure both in centimeters, or you should measure both in millimeters. Always millimeter unit is, always better, because there are no decimal places. If you will measure anything in centimeter, then definitely decimals will be, decimals will be a part of it, right? So it's always better to use, millimeter while measuring the size of image or drawing, or while measuring the size, of, real object or actual size. So all measurements for calculating magnification should be done using the same units. Generally millimeter is used for measurement, and magnification is actually not having any unit, right? So whenever we write, magnification, we must include times sign, the times sign before magnification. For example, this here, this x, the small x or the small multiplication sign refers to magnification. So x 200, that means the magnification of this particular picture is 200 times than the original picture. Okay, so that means this drawing or diagram is enlarged by 200 times than the original picture. Now here on right side, they show the magnification equation triangle. Okay, it shows that magnification is actually equals to size of image by size of real object. Now for example, magnification is provided and size of real image is provided. You have to calculate the size of image or drawing. So by using simple mathematical formula, how can you calculate? Image size will be equals to magnification multiplied by real object size. Okay. Now for example, if you have to calculate real object size, so what will be the formula? These two, real object and magnification, will just switch their positions. Okay, so real object size will be equal to image size divided by magnification. Okay, now if you have to calculate magnification, so magnification equals to image size divided by real object size. Great. I think the topic is very clear and you should not have any confusion related to this. In case if you have any confusion related to any of these two topics, you can always comment down in the comment section, and I will explain it further again. Now just see this example. This example, the same one, the question which we have seen previously in making of biological drawings. Okay, so measure the length of spider between points X and Y on figure 2.2, include the units. So length of line XY on the spider in figure 2.2, I have measured it and I have got it as 39 millimeter. Okay, so here they have specifically mentioned 39 millimeter. Okay, so if you will measure it correctly, 39 millimeter, out of 3, 1 mark will be awarded. Fine. Then draw a line in the same position on your drawing and measure the length on your drawing. Length of line XY on the spider in your drawing. Now, if you'll remember, if you'll see here, this is the drawing made by the student, and in the same position you have to draw the line XY. Okay, so here this particular line which you have made XY, you have to draw by using ruler, and then you have to measure it. So in this case, the measurement was 81 millimeter. Okay, so the length of line XY on this spider in your drawing is actually 81 millimeter. Fine. Now calculate the magnification. The formula is already given. Magnification is image size divided by, actual size. So image size is 81 millimeter and actual size is 39 millimeters. So when you find out, the magnification will be x 2.07, or you can, just you can round off and it is x2. X2 means the diagram drawn by the student is, it's two times larger than the original diagram of the spider, or the original picture of the spider. Okay, so the original picture of the spider was given. Okay, the student has used it as a reference and drawn the diagram of original spider in the space provided, and how much the student was able to enlarge it. The student has enlarged it by 2 times, only by 2 times. Okay, the answer came was 2.07, but if we round off, we'll get 2 times. So make sure that here, while writing magnification, you must use the sign of times, x2. You must use the sign of times while writing magnification. If you don't write, the sign of times, you will not be awarded marks. 1 mark will be deducted. You will get marks only for these two. 1 mark will be deducted. I'll just show you the marking scheme, what's given in marking scheme. The length of XY on figure 2.2. The original picture of spider was between, you should get between these two. And the length XY shown on the candidate's drawing in the correct position, correct calculation. So and everything is for 2 marks. 1 mark for this, 2nd mark for this one, and the 3rd mark is for correct calculation. Maximum 2 if no units are given. That means if you don't write unit in front of these two lengths, and you do not, put X in front of magnification, so you will get maximum 2 marks. You will lose marks for units, okay, for not writing units. Fine. So I hope these two very important, topics for alternative to practicals paper are clearly understood by you guys. In case you have any doubt, please write it down in the comment sections below. Thank you. Only this much for this video. Okay. We will learn other things in the upcoming videos. Take care till then. Bye-bye.